Hello, fam. My name is C.S. Williams, the radio apprentice, and you're listening to our Vault Live podcast. I just want us to kick off from where we left off. I think at noon we had a few things to talk about, and this is 10 p.m. And yes, this is the best time for us to continue from where we left off. In case you're listening to me for the first time, we always have to talk about styles at noon, and then we have night session. Most especially, it's all about singing at the mic, but sometimes I tend to alternate the shows depending on my mood and depending on what happened out there, depending on what I find most interestingly that we can talk about or something that we can um, have our opinion deliberated upon. Okay. Basically, it's nothing new about the protest because I'm heading somewhere with this conversation right now. Um, you probably look at it as something that's become boring because of the foundation and the continuation, and because it has become politics. So it's no longer carrying the theme, and that is what I've been scared of all this while. Like I said earlier, I said this protest is being hijacked, and because of that, we're not going to get the real meal from it. It's like cooking, and yet you're not even sure of what the meal is going to come out to be because right now it's salty, and it's as if everyone who has put so much effort in trying to go out of their way to make certain movement and make their voices heard has wasted their time, apparently, to an extent. Now, I was going to the internet, I was just surfing the internet today, and I saw a clip by Pastor Chris Oyakilome. Okay. And then I realized that everywhere I see that clip about the protests, his views about the protests, I get to see people writing silly stuffs about him. Or how you have to watch your own pastors, or how you have to do this and how you have to do that. Now, before I go into that, this is what I want to say. I know that the moment you're a public figure, there's a way people look at you, and it's as if you can never make a mistake, or it's as if you can never say anything contradictory to what they think. So, therefore, anything you say, anything you do comes around with certain words that are not adequate. And especially most of those people that even come before you to say those things or say those things behind you cannot say them wherever they see you, or even where they see a supporter that is strongly behind you. And I see silly remarks being embedded on his opinion. Now, truth be told, since this pandemic started and since we started having this protest, everybody have had their say. Hmm? Everyone have had their say. Everyone have had their own channel of conspiracy theories. Everyone have had their own share of fights. Everyone have had their own share of opinion, and nobody have actually walked up to someone and say, "I'm going to slap you because you made this comment about COVID-19 or about the protest." Okay, it's been a free avenue for everyone to have a say, and this is one thing I feel. If someone is saying something that you don't like or something that you don't believe in, why don't you just keep walking? There's no need trying to say things because you feel you are learned. Now, truth be told, the person might be saying the right thing, and because you feel you're learned, the person's theory is not good enough for you. Then you start saying bullshit, and that is when other people will look at you as disrespectful or even the bullshit yourself. I don't know why we always want to feel like we know better. People have their opinions, and to an extent, as long as you're not seeing the original copies of what you're talking about, everyone's opinion is a photocopy and it's valid until we get to see the result. Okay, I'm going to play you the things he said. He said something about the protests, trying to connect the protests to the pandemic, and of which I don't see anything wrong in his connections. And people would say, oh, he has said something from before, and then now he wants to say something now so he can have a say. For crying out loud, he doesn't need to have a say where you are. His congregation can do the listening. They can actually buy what he's saying. Okay, they're huge. There are a lot of people in there. Okay, why am I so shading him right now? I'm shading him because of the comments I saw on the internet, and you're sharing what he's saying, and you're airing your own opinion right behind his own, and you're abusing him at the same time. For crying out loud, we all have our opinions. It doesn't really matter what he's saying, but I'm going to play so you can listen to him firsthand what he's saying, and tell me why so anybody would want to abuse him for saying what he thinks or what he has researched to be correct. Because for me, as long as we don't have the original copies of what is going on in this world right now, whatever anybody says is photocopy, and that is valid until we get to hear from the original, of which no one is going to see that anytime soon. So whether you're forming learned or whether you're forming smart, and so therefore every other person's theory is to be dusted. Well, I feel like you're in the same category anyway. So I'm gonna, okay, this is it right now. Just pay attention to what he said and tell me why he deserves to be criticized in a very, very disrespectful manner. Okay, just pay attention.
It's not about the guy that died. It's not about black folks. It's not about Black Lives Matter. I'll tell you what it's about. Now look at from protest to riot. And then more people have died since then. And the call for disbanding, abrogation, cancellation, defunding of the police. Why is that? You think it's limited to the United States? No, it's not. Why are they doing it? It's part of the game. I'll tell you what it is. It's simple. Because they want to come in with the alternative method for security. What is that alternative method for security? The total control with the RFID microchip. That's what it's about. And so you're going to find cities getting rid of their police and then experimenting just one little city after another. The city says no police. Everyone must get the microchip. And with that, you're going to know everybody. Everybody will know everybody. They're going to know everyone. And crime will be controlled. And they've got the media to help hype it. And in spite of the failure of the system, they're going to praise it like the best thing in the world. That's what it's about.
Now, that is what he said. You have to tell me right now if there's anything that he has said that is out of place for his opinion. That's his honest opinion. I don't have any problem with what he has said. Neither am I obligated to believe or buy his theory. But seriously, this is not the reason why anybody would want to abuse him or would want to feel like he's saying rubbish. If you don't know exactly what is going on, if you don't know what to say, just walk away. Sometimes, okay, I do it sometimes. Okay, when I go to the internet and I see something I don't want to listen to, maybe I've listened to it for a few seconds and it doesn't really sound interesting to me, I walk away. I don't bother trying to repost it just so that I can write silly stuff about the person. It doesn't really make any sense. But you've heard what he said, and I know very well that we all have things to say behind it. And if you feel like there's a reason why anybody would want to react to what he said, okay, like someone said earlier, he spoke so much about the 5G earlier, and so because of that, he has come again with another silly theory. The 5G, the 4G, whatever it is, They are just all theories. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Let people say what they want to say. That is not the reason why you're going to come to the internet and try to show yourself that you're too learned or you know too much. Crying out loud, you don't walk there. You don't know anything. And most of the people who are writing bullshit are still from this part of the world where nothing is happening. Not even the tech is being established in this part of the world. We're just consumers. And yet people write bullshit like they know too much. That's so annoying. Okay? They're all theories. You're not obligated to believe anything. But please stop saying silly stuff about people. Okay? That's my take. He's a person too, all right, who is entitled to his opinion. That's my take, all right. But that is not what we have for tonight. I just need to clear that out because that really did upset me. And you can actually share my frustration. And yeah, okay, you can always tell me too that he has said what he said, and you can now come up with. But you can also throw your own theory. Anybody can say what they want to say. But that doesn't really mean that you just have to say something to them. You don't really have to say anything to them. If you don't buy their theory, walk away. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? I didn't really like the criticism he was getting for saying his mind. Okay? He believes what he's saying. Look into his eyes. He believes what he's saying. If you listen to his voice, he believes what he's saying. And he's not asking you to believe what he's saying. He's just saying what he's saying. So sometimes when you listen to people talk and you don't like what they're saying, close your ears or walk away. You don't need to say anything to them. It's not necessary. Sometimes you just expose yourself to some other people attacking you because you try to show yourself that you're too learned to be around them. Okay. That's my take. You might have a different opinion, which you're free to call me up and tell me what you think about what he said. Although it's not really for what he said. It's for the reactions that has come behind what he said, because I've explained tonight what my frustration is. And now you understand where I'm coming from, so you know what to tell me when you call up. And then if you actually listen to this as an uploaded podcast, you can actually put your comments below telling me what you think and about his comments, or what you think about the reactions coming from people, and how right or wrong should it be that if you cannot comprehend what someone is saying, you walk away. How difficult can that be? You can also tell me that. My name is C.S. Williams, the Radio Apprentice, and this is our Live podcast. Okay? Thank you very much, guys, and stay tuned. I'll be right back.